Hello everybody today. Second episode of the Survival Enhanced multiplayer server. And I'm joined today by Lazyman. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you for introducing me.
And today we're gonna be starting a mini-series probably, maybe. At least that's the plan. We're gonna start with a little shop selling living rock and living wood. And it's going to be the first time ever that I'm going to be using the blueprint. There is a great reveal on my screen, at least, how it looks like. It's
wow,
amazing
it
building.
looks great. A bunch of air blocks.
You just need a lot of imagination if you're watching Lazy's video.
The schematic is only visible on his screen right now, just because he's the one that has it saved. If you guys watch the video for the juice. Lazy Juices Incorporated, you'll understand what it looks like, but it's about that.
Yeah. So apparently I have to do nothing. I just have to grab the blocks and it will all be done by itself.
Yeah, so as long as you have the schematic set up in the right place and you like where everything is, just hit your minus key and hit turn the printer on and it'll start placing blocks all over the place.
Okay, I need this. What do I need? Some
these. You don't need this cobblestone here, right?
Cobblestone? No, definitely not.
Okay.
Anything else I will need over there? No, we will have to put the water and everything else manually probably, but okay, let's test it. Hey!
Ooh, it looks really cool from my side.
That is much easier. I thought I will have to just guess what the blocks are and build everything myself, but
this looks really cool from my end.
We need some scaffolding for this.
Yeah, you're gonna have to build up a little bit.
I can't really reach far. Hey, come on. Okay, what I haven't built, I need acacia. Can I suffocate as well if I'm gonna place the block?
I don't know actually. I could always break you out though. I am actually gonna start working on some stalagmites. Oh yeah, that's a nice looking stalagmite right there. I'm pretty proud of that. Let's make another one. I kind of want to make like a 2-block tall stalagmite. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? so some progress has been made here in the interior of this beautiful building. We added.
Exactly.
What was that?
Exactly. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you.
We added this cool looking like walkway. It looks like you're kind of walking on water. We thought it'd be like a cool like happy medium between like kind of like the woodsy type of deal, which was where we're selling the living wood, and then over here is where we're selling the living rock. So we kind of thought water was like a cool medium. It's actually just blue wool, and then it's just regular water, and then we have blue stained glass at the top. And then over here is where the input chest, where they pay. We haven't come up with the price yet, but that's where they would pay for whatever blocks that they or whatever type of living block they want. And then back here is this cool little lever, contact lever that we added. With an open hand, you just gotta right click this plank, and it opens and closes this door. When it's open, you can come down here and access all of our goods right here. We don't have any yet, obviously. And then Acid down here is working on the redstone to automatically place and harvest all the living blocks. I mean, place and harvest all the stone and oak logs to turn into living wood and living logs. That's where we're at right now. But I guess I'll cut again when we get this redstone contraption stuff going. By the way, you're not supposed to tell anybody about this contact lever here, so anyone watching, you don't know anything.
We've got everything counted.
We have it all part of our plan.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Alright guys, I'm back here, and I think Acid down here has completed most of the redstone. Whoa, so looking pretty good down here, actually.
Yeah.
So can you walk us through what kind of super complex redstone contraption you've created here?
Yeah, by the way, before any comments will appear, we've just came out with a smaller idea, but unfortunately, due to lack of resource and time and laziness, we've decided to go with the original idea, which is slightly bigger, but still works exactly the same way.
We already have it all planned out, so we'll just stick to it.
Yeah. So we've got two sections. Lazy is standing on one of them, I'm on the other. One is obviously for the living wood, one for the living rock. And you've got block placers all the way around. This is those lower blocks. They will be triggered every around 2 minutes due to lack of proper resource as well. The timing is not very great, but we have to work with what we've got. They will be placing the blocks, and the breakers on the top will be breaking it after about 2 minutes, when they will definitely convert to the living rock and living wood. And then we have to figure this one out still. We've got an advanced item collector, which looks like this. Can you see it, Lazy, over here? It's on the chest. It will be acting like a vacuum hopper, and it will be grabbing all the items over here. My original design was with 2 items collectors, but unfortunately, due to lack of endermen in the area and ender pearls, we have to go with one bigger one. So we will have to redesign it slightly, but it's nothing too difficult. And
we can also filter these, just in case anyone was wondering. You could put a filter right here from random things, and you could filter what it sucks up.
So we're not going to be picking up stuff that people will be dropping on the floor above or something like that. Because it will probably happen. And on the front over here, there is a little timer clock switcheroo thing that will activate all the redstone on the 2 blocks, or it will deactivate it. And the block breakers, they're active when the redstone is not present, pretty much. And the block placers are active when we've got the redstone working. We can actually show it like this, I think. There you go, you can see the breakers actually working. They've got a little animation over here. And they place the block. So, there we go. Now,
pretty cool.
A quick intro with the timer. We're using the Botania hovering hourglass that was lended to us. Thank you very much.
Side master.
landed. I think it was given as a gift. So
It was
yeah.
given as a gift.
Great contribution. Thank you very much. And yeah, it's sending a pulse every 2 minutes, switching off this redstone torch, which then triggers this T flip-flop, which is doing something like, you can see this torch is on at the moment. If it will give it a pulse, it's off. And then this
turns
triggers
on
the piston.
all the placers. It turns on, and well, I'm sure. I think he said this, but when the redstone is on the breakers, it no longer breaks the blocks. So that's how that works.
It stops it for whatever, however long the redstone is active. And yeah, this redstone block is being moved, and through the comparator, everything is, I think, triggered. Let me just double check in the corner. Yeah, everything is working, everything in range.
Awesome.
So happy days.
What's the purpose of this comparator here? That's to make sure there's still blocks, right?
Yeah, if we don't want to create lag, obviously, and especially this is a spawn chunk. So if the block placer is just on one, but we will try to spread all the items evenly across all the block placers. If it's empty, it will trigger the comparator. It will send redstone signal to the piston, and the piston will extend, switching off the whole contraption basically. So as long as this block placer is empty, it will not work. Whatever you're gonna do, it won't trigger. And there will be another comparator detecting the chests that will have the living wood and living stone or rock inside of them. When they will be filling up, we're gonna be switching off the contraption as well, so we're not gonna be creating thousands of entities over here because there is no room in the chests. So there you go.
Quick note: doesn't this have to be a torch right here? Because right now this placer is empty and everything is working. I thought you said when it's empty we don't want it to be working.
Yes. At least one of us is thinking.
So now now none of this should work. Okay.
Yeah, that's the way. The comparator is sending the signal to the torch. It's being switched on or switched off, and there you go. That's how it works. And now I can give you a quick speed up version with just 2 sand, normal sand in the hourglass, because it just takes 2 seconds. So you can see it's moved. The blocks are being placed. The blocks are being broken. The blocks are being placed and broken. So it's just gonna be about 100 times slower.
Yeah, and the reason why we need it to be like 1 to 2 minutes is that it takes time for these pure daisies to convert the stone and logs into living wood and living stone. It takes about that time, so that's why we need such a long delay.
It's around a minute on the wiki, and the block placers, they've got a little bit of a delay, and it's a multiplayer server, so it's a little bit of lag as well. So I was testing it with 70 seconds, but unfortunately we don't have access to the red sand, and we can use soul sand, which is the next level. It's 1 minute per item, so 2 minutes is the safest bet. It is in the spawn chunk. It will be in the spawn chunk. It will be working 24/7, so it doesn't have to be super fast.
Yeah.
It will process everything we will put in it eventually. So
yep.
there you go.
Pretty cool.
That is the way of finding living rock and living wood in our mod pack. At the moment, at least, we might have different items unlocked later in the tech tree, which will make it much easier. But for now, this is the best we can come up with.
Okay, so we filled up all the that was some good timing. It all just changed. But we filled up all the placers with wood and stone, and it places it, and then that daisy we put down, the pure daisy right here, changes changes the wood and everything to the living wood like we've said in the past, but like it just did it, and in about 30 seconds it looks like his little contraption here is going to go into effect, and these breakers are going to turn on. It's going to break all these blocks, and since the breakers don't have an inventory, I'm right clicking and nothing's happening. It just leaves the entity on the ground, and that's what this advanced item collector does, which I added a filter that only collects living wood and living rock. So this is about to turn over any second. Probably, actually it looks like 20 more seconds. But when it does flip, all those blocks will break, and the collector will pick them all up. Oh, there we go. It just switched. You can see it. All these are broken, and it went into this chest. You can see before we only had like 10 and 17 or something. Now we have 23 and 25. And then in another. Oh, you picked up 2?
Yeah, I've just put it in the chest.
Oh, okay. And then another 2 minutes, this will flip back on again, which will, you know, activate the placers and blah blah blah, and rinse and repeat until these are all empty. But it's pretty cool. Got it all working.
Yeah.
And now the final thing is to work on this interior. Alrighty, guys, we are finally back here with what I do believe is the final cut of the video, and it's looking really solid. There's gonna be a lot of interior work changed, and Acid over here did a lot of work on the inside.
Yes.
He spent a lot of hours.
And I will probably spend a bit more again after tomorrow or something.
Yeah, it's just getting kind of late, so we wanted to wrap it up. And I think what we have right now is pretty presentable. So on the outside, he added these oak leaves and these oak leaf carpets from cork. Back here we have the vines and whatnot. That I have a feeling. Never mind. They're probably not disabled. Never mind. But
we'll see. We'll see when they will grow.
We will see.
Probably.
And then in here, we called it the living shop. You can see it's like incredibly detailed in here. This is all the wood sales, which is right now we only have 1 stack of living wood, but this is where we would put all of the living wood from downstairs into this chest. And this is the payment chest right here. And living wood, a stack is 20 iron, so I would take out this living wood and put 20 iron in here, and then it would go down to the hopper system. And then over here, living rock, a stack equals 1 diamond. Same thing here. You can see we implemented my awesome stalagmites and stalactites. I learned the difference, or an easy way to remember the difference today, thanks to Acid. And the reason why the living rock is more expensive is because you need to smelt it, and it takes a lot of time to smelt all that stuff, and you need the coal. And until someone gets a silk touch pick, this price is probably going to stay the same. But the wood is much easier because you can just chop it down and then you're pretty much done. But besides that, it's pretty solid looking in here. I'm sure he's going to come back and spend another 3 more hours doing some finishing touches, even though I think it looks pretty much perfect. What?
We need like a mantle piece over here or something, like a statue.
Yeah, or like an armor stand or something maybe. I'm sure I'll be back in this building to show you the final touches that he's made, probably in the following episode. But for now, I think it looks really nice. And downstairs is fully functional, and we just got to keep it stocked, and you know, hopefully make a lot of money in this.
And more shops in the future.
Correct. We'll
we just have to design everything and find some time to record it.
Exactly. But that's pretty much it. Anything else from you, Acid, or you're good?
No, I think that's it. That's it.
Awesome.
Lots of videos in the pipeline, so stay tuned.
Yes, indeed.
For next ones.
Thanks again, guys, for watching.
Growing.
Oh yes, it is. There's actually got another shop over here. It's coming up. It's not us. This is somebody else. I'm pretty excited to see what's going to be put up here. But
it's a weird Viking theme to have pink planks. But
yeah. This whole town is supposed to be Viking themed, so I'm kind of curious to see how he's going to incorporate this pink into it.
He took over my idea because I said something in the first episode.
Yeah, well, I remember that.
It should be pink and fluffy, and he really took it his heart.
I guess we'll see in a couple days here.
Okay. Yeah. See you later.
Yep. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching.